razor blade thighs. Don't do, because it's your butthole. Everything hurts. Of course I come home after tour and Ollie's like, time for Fucktown, and I'm like, get ready because it's razor blades down there. So I can handle it. And God knows what the emergency room nurse thought when we came in because his dick was all torn to shreds. Like I put it right into a shredder.
God.
Well, guys, they can't stop. Once you pop, you can't stop. You know that.
Oh, please.
Aaron, I don't know. This was
Tony Pepperoni line.
This was
Well, you popped
Look, is it that bad? No one got.
No, but
no one got bloodied.
No, I know.
But it's like, okay, for example, when you shaved your face, aren't 3 days in, aren't you like, this is itchy and feels bad, and doesn't it feel razor bladey?
No.
It's like if your face folded in on itself.
No, but I believe if I shaved my butthole that would happen. That's why I don't think you should.
I don't want to know if you did either.
I know that
I guess I don't know, but because this is growing.
Of course, I didn't want to know if she shaved her butthole either.
It does. It's not
spiky.
It's not the Blade Runner butthole situation that
movie would have done better if that's what it is.
Are you getting that haircut or not? You bragged about how it's being offered in LA, and yet you've refused to get it.
I'm not getting the Blade Runner 2049 haircut.
Oh, come on.
If you Google, and by the way, there's so many places you could do that here. Your place, that place, the other place.
Yeah, you're right. Sam, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
What are the ones that just fuck your mouth up? The raisin chocolate chews?
Raisin chocolate chews?
Reason, R-E-I-S-E-N. They're these chocolate chews.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, Google it.
No, you're thinking what happens at the end of a weed. At the end of the joint.
Resin that I've been eating the resin.
Oh, because it's caramel?
It's the real hard type of caramel that just...
I know what you're talking about. Who would give
that away for Halloween? That's like an old bank candy.
Hey, how did this turn into me being attacked?
Wrong answer!
Wait, did you go see Glorious... No, not Glorious...
I did go see Glorious...
Who did you go see play piano last night?
Regina Spektor.
I have a story about her.
Let's hear it. That's a good Gloria Steinem.
So the only time I've done cocaine, and probably the last, was at a TP, but it was at a wedding. And one of the reasons I know I shouldn't do cocaine anymore is because I talked to Regina Spektor's sister for an hour about what my life goals looked like. And she was very kind. She sat with me the whole time, and I took a picture of her on the tree.
They made a statue of us.
I wasn't cocaine, but I drunkenly talked to her at a party at a Frank Lloyd Wright house. Someone had hired me to do sound. Do you know Steven Weber, the actor from Wings?
Yes.
He hired me to do sound. He flew in, Cat Power?
Yes.
For his wife's birthday as a surprise, flew her in and got a piano, and she played songs for his wife, and I got very drunk. And
how are you working sound if it's just a piano?
Just to record it, to have a copy of it. And then Regina Spektor came, and I said drunk things like this: when are you going to make another album? And she said, well, I was having a baby. And I go, but it's like soon, though?
How old? Was it 6 months ago?
Is today. No, it was like last summer.
So I just asked what your favorite Halloween candy was. I didn't expect to get bragging from you about Regina Spektor's sister or bragging from you about having a conversation with her and that Cat Power was there.
Are you upset that you don't have a story?
No. You may not. Yeah. All right, we're going on tour next year because this one's over. If you're not listening to Get Up on This, then how do you know what's happening in the world of pop culture? My God, the arts. Jensen Karp has been doing Get Up on This for over 300 episodes to celebrate that landmark occasion. He is sitting down with the one and only Method Man, you heard me right, to discuss his music career, TV appearances, from The Wire to The Deuce, and the debut of Drop the Mic, a show that Jensen created, and is co-executive producing on TBS, my initials, The Brian Safi. You won't want to miss it. Check out Jensen's conversation with Method Man on Get Up on This, available on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or earwolf.com. Oh, and also check out his new TV show, Drop the Mic, October 24th on TBS. You got it, The Brian Safi. I don't know about you, but I sure do miss Tom Price. You know Tom Price. You remember him.
Yeah, from Price is Right.
Took all the jets all over town. And to me, he looked exactly like Tim Gunn, but no one else agreed. Well, Tom Price has In the words of Borat, wife.
He does not look like Tim Gunn.
You don't think he does?
I mean, I guess I see.
Well, no one else. By the way, everyone agrees with you. No one else thinks he looks like Tim Gunn, except for me. But I'm not here to talk about Tom Price. I'm here to talk about.
Hold on, sorry. I know. But
that was a killer impression.
I know it was really good and so relevant and timely. But look at him with a mustache.
Yeah, it's transparent. The mustache is see-through. It's like, what's his name? Spencer Pratt has that sort of
Yeah, it's like those tattoos people would get on their fingers where they were too scared to commit to the flesh color, but then they would just get flesh color. You don't know what I'm talking about. You never will.
No. So Tom Price was the former Secretary of Health and Human Services who abused the system, essentially. He was taking jets all over the world and on our dime. But just a terrible guy. Anyway, he is married to Representative Betty Price, who is a state representative, Republican, in Georgia's House of Representatives. And she's also a doctor. She recently, during a Tuesday committee meeting on access to health care in the state of Georgia, said this to a person named Pascal Wortley, what's about her name?
I can't think of one. It's my favorite programming language.
Pascal Wortley, who is the director of HIV I can never say this word. Epidemiology. Epidemiology.
I can't believe I'm correcting you.
I'm glad you did. HIV
epidemiology, idiot.
Pascal. By the way, the number of people who came up to me on tour and was like, "It's Chiaroscuro." Go.
Joke's on you. We don't care.
We don't care. The director of HIV Chiaroscuro for Georgia Department of Health. Okay, so Betty Price had this question for this HIV expert.
An HIV expert. We're on their. We're on Pascal's side.
Yes. Representative Betty Price, quoting her now. My thinking sometimes goes in strange directions.
Well, it shouldn't. You're a
scientist. Which already, it's like, okay, Marsha Norman, just relax. My thinking sometimes goes in strange directions. But before you proceed, if you wouldn't mind commenting on the surveillance of partners, tracking of contacts, that sort of thing. She's talking about partners of people with HIV, tracking contacts, that sort of thing. What are we legally able to do? And I don't want to say the quarantine word, but I guess I just said it. Is there an ability, since I would guess that public dollars are expended heavily in prophylaxis and treatment of this condition, is there an ability so that we have public interest in curtailing the spread? Are there any methods? What would you advise? Are there any methods legally that we could do that would curtail the spread? So essentially what she has suggested is whether people diagnosed with HIV
should be dormant in your body and can lay dormant for up to 10 years before they
Now, I have a question. Did she say the word gay?
Don't have to be gay to get HIV, you idiot.
That doesn't matter.
But
I was just curious.
By the way, everyone should know that is always the insinuation.
Well, because there is an HIV epidemic in opioid regions of the United States.
Opioid causes
by the way,
constipation.
I'm not taking anybody's side, so you might come for me. But what I'm saying is that...
And it doesn't even really matter that she said it or not. The idea that you would quarantine someone with a disease like HIV that has come such a long way and that...
HIV is only transferable by blood.
Certainly obliterated a large portion of the population back in the day, but now is very treatable and people live full and long lives.
We don't quarantine people with acne.
Mainly blood.
We don't quarantine people with a runny nose.
I know, but if you stay away from the...
We don't quarantine people who have... some people I know have like dry skin around their like ears.
Sure.
And I have to look at it, you know?
Yeah, HIV is a little different than that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, there's options.
I get a whole
but no, she did not say the word gay. That is all I want you to know and everyone to know. That is always the insinuation about HIV because it does affect that population disproportionately.
And there's also
Of course straight people can get HIV, of course.
No, I know, but
it is different.
But there is the thing of, like, I'm sure in the back of her mind, like, well, the gays are very risky in their behavior.
Absolutely. That's always there when people talk about quarantining, because otherwise you would quarantine people with anything, diabetes, cancer, anything, you know what I mean?
Dry skin around the ears.
Right. No.
Any affliction.
Well, any contagious disease, rabies, then yes, hepatitis. You know what I mean? We don't do that here. This isn't leprosy, which I don't even know if those people are quarantined. It's absolutely crazy.
I believe they were at one point, no?
I mean, back in the biblical times, they were for sure.
Yeah, they
had their own island.
Galapagos.
Yeah. There are also there's so many pitfalls here with doing something like this, because when you say something like that, people are already afraid to get tested. Even in this day and age where, again, there is PrEP, there is PEP, which is...
What's PEP?
PEP is, for lack of a better comparison, sort of works like birth control in that, like, it's one pill you take every day.
And it will it cock blocks the HIV.
It cock blocks the HIV. PEP, which is used much less frequently, especially now,
it's not full-blown AIDS yet.
Like Plan B?
It only does that.
Exactly, but you take it for a month. So within, you have, I think the window is, you have up to 72 hours to get on PEP, which is post-exposure, and then you take it for a month to hopefully block the transmission of HIV.
It's so funny how much in common women and gay men have.
If you just can't be, don't be done with it.
Like the way that we like the medicine for our bodies.
Sure.
The fact that we both like to have sex with the similar gender, you know?
Right.
You and I both wear T-shirts.
Yeah, women also have sex with women.
Well, no, I know, but like what I'm saying is like
so far, Aaron.
I'm talking about it in the grill and embrace term, the will and grace, the stereotypical friendship between a gay man and a straight woman, the purest kind of friendship that any two people could have. There's so much common.
By the way, I agree with you. People are already so afraid of getting tested, and I think when you use words like quarantine, that only makes it that much more difficult to A, raise awareness, B, get tested, which, as everyone knows, besides being on PrEP and maybe getting on PEP, which a lot of doctors won't even put you on.
Why not?
Just because some are uneducated about it. I mean, the whole bubble thing. But, I don't know if they can refuse you if you ask for it specifically, but
if they don't know about it and you don't know about it.
Exactly. Okay. And so the best way to stop it after that is to be tested. And when people say words like quarantine in 2017, not only is it so regressive, like that is something people said truly in like 1984. Not only is it not only is it so regressive, but it's also wrong. It also just is so inaccurate at this point. Where would
you go?
Exactly. And like, how long? People with HIV live full lives. How, if they're on treatment, how long would they be quarantined for? The rest of their lives? It's insane.
It's a stupid thing for a doctor to say, and it's a stupid thing for a person to say.
Exactly. So she went on to say...
She's stupid.
She went on to say, it seems to me it's almost frightening the number of people who are living that are potentially carriers. Well, they are carriers, with the potential to spread. Whereas in the past, and this is where it becomes a gay issue, whereas in the past, they died more readily. And then at that point, they're not posing a risk.
She sounds like
we've got a huge population posing a risk if they're not in treatment. So what she's saying is, before it was better because they died so they couldn't spread it. Now they're living long lives and are carriers so they can't spread it, which also we know is not true. The CDC, which is a very conservative institution, the Center for Disease Control, that they don't put out anything unless they are 1,000% sure of it, has now come out with, if you are HIV positive and you're on medication, which, if you're on the right medication, would hopefully mean that you're undetectable, you can't spread the virus. It's like if you could have unsafe sex with someone who's HIV positive, and if they're undetectable, you won't get it. 100%. Guaranteed. CDC came out with it. So the fact that the CDC came out with it means that, like, it is fucking foolproof. No one can get HIV from someone who's HIV positive if that person's undetectable on medication.
I have a question, and I know, and I don't even need to look this up, but I do know she's the kind of lady who wears a turtleneck and a blazer. Mm-hmm. But was this just a long, rambly thing that she just, like, got up on a soapbox and was like, here's the way I think?
It was like almost like a city council meeting or whatever. They're like state rep meeting. It is like...
Did Pascal have anything to say?
Pascal, I think, was like dumbfounded. She later said, but I do want to just reiterate the thing about how it's frightening the number of potential carriers who are living, whereas in the past they died more readily, and at that point they're not posing a